So on the Mercedes SL, it could be a 500, a 55, a 550, even a 600. You can remove the ABC pump and install a standard power steering pump. Now with the 600, the V12, there is a different pump, a 7-rib pump. Shaped a little bit different than this one, but this is the standard power steering pump that you would find in a Mercedes ML55 AMG. That pump requires this rear bracket. That's the difference of a standard power steering pump from Mercedes and the one that you actually need to fit onto this motor. So when you're replacing the ABC pump, you go through the process of removing this. We know that it's difficult. Once you get it out, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You're going to convert over to this. In order to install this, you're going to use the front 2 holes right here. This is the top, this is the bottom. This is from the front of the engine. You're going to reinstall those 2 bolts. And on the back side, you're only going to install this top bolt right here. So that gives you a 3-point connection. The one in the back right here, and the 2 right here. Regarding the pulley itself, you do not need to change this, nor the belt. It's the same size as the factory one, as the ABC pulley. I already removed it in order to remove this pump, but it's the same size pulley. So use the same belt. The hard, high pressure line connects right there. You use the same line that's in place. There is a rectangle shaped attachment that you have to bend. It's a flexible metal piece that you bend out the way so it doesn't touch the belt. You'll see it. Also, the same rubber line from the power steering reservoir, you use that same rubber line right here. You keep in place the small power steering reservoir. You remove the big ABC reservoir. And this is the result. You have this right here, your power steering reservoir. You use the same hose. You connect it to the top of the power steering pump. It's a spring-loaded clip connection. Use that same hose and that same original clip to secure it. It's spring-loaded. You squeeze that together. Push this line all the way back. Make sure it's pushed all the way back and then secure it, and it will not come off. I know that it is different. This right here is a different shape than the original connection, but I promise you, it holds. So use that same rubber hose, use that same spring-loaded clip, and it secures. Here goes the triangle or rectangle shaped bracket connection on this hard line that you have to bend back. I bent it back so that it doesn't contact this belt. Just simply put some pliers on there and bend it back, and it gets it out the way. So this is how you connect the power steering pump and replacement of the ABC pump. I remove the ABC reservoir. I get all that stuff out the way. Use the same reservoir right here. Use the same rubber hose line as the inlet. Use that same high pressure line for the output for the rack and pinion. Use the same belt. Simply install the 2 bolts in the front, 1 in the back. And if you have an issue with either one, top or bottom, if either one of those in the front strips, which I've had in the past, that bottom one has stripped before, make sure you secure it with another one in the back. Make sure you have a 3-point secure placement, I guess, or 3 screws or bolts that secures that power steering pump. A 3-point system is what I'm trying to say. Usually I do 2 in the front, 1 in the back. I have done in the past 2 in the back, 1 in the front. All right. So that's how you install that. Try to preserve as much of this fluid as you can when removing everything and reinstalling it. And whatever you lose, please add back. Make sure your fluid levels are correct. All right. That's what this is all about. Top it back off with full synthetic, high temp power steering fluid. I recommend a European power steering fluid, and there's several options there. You can use a Mercedes standard power steering. You can use Pentosan, and there's a few other manufacturers that actually have a European high temp full synthetic power steering fluid. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. This is Brandon Green, owner of Goldelementautoworks, signing off. Take care.